Hey, Marco Rubio don't care about y'all. Hmm. Y'all know I'm having a hard time with this Marco Rubio deal. Marco Rubio comes from immigrant parents, immigrant grandparents. And he just act like that ain't where he came from. I understand. Marco Rubio is the first Secretary of State. It's a significant milestone for Cuban people, okay, to hold such a prestigious position. His confirmation was 99 to 0, and we had bipartisan support for that. You would think, as a Secretary of State, he would do something to help his own people. Instead, that's all we have heard from Marco from day one is his undermining of you Cuban people. What made you think that he was going to help to protect you from Trump? This is what he was doing when he first came in as a senator. This is what he was doing.
I want to talk, and Secretary, this involve you a little bit too, about a specific category, this refugee resettlement, Cubans, Haitians. But let me just focus on the Cuban one because I know that one well. So if you come from Cuba, you are presumed to be for fleeing political persecution. So you automatically are eligible for refugee cash. You're eligible for food stamps. You're eligible for Medicare, Medicaid. Others who immigrate to this country have to wait 5 years for those and don't get the refugee cash. But within a year, depending if you're paroled, you can apply for a green card. And then you can travel back to Cuba as often as you want, multiple times. You can take cash. You can buy stuff with the food stamps. I've seen it. Okay, this is not, I didn't read this in a magazine. I've seen it. They use the food stamps, they fill up these bags, and they take it back to Cuba over there, or they just transfer cash back. Some people go back to Cuba for 3 months at a time. They've been here a year.
So this is how he really feels. He was saying this as a senator. He was saying this as a senator. So he had contempt for the Cuban people before any of this broke off. He was a senator when he was talking like this. Okay? So he didn't care about them before. Listen to what he say about Trump.
The stakes are giving control of the party of Lincoln and Reagan, of the conservative movement, and ultimately of the United States over to a con artist. That will not happen. I make this promise to you today. I will do whatever it takes. I will campaign as long as it takes. I will stay in this race as long as it takes. Donald Trump, a con artist, will never get control of this party. And the time has come for you. I know some of your friends have bought into this. Listen, friends, don't let friends vote for con artists. It is time to open our eyes. It is time to open our eyes. We cannot allow a con artist to get access to the nuclear codes of the United States of America.
Now, my question is, what happened to that Marco Rubio, okay? That Marco Rubio, soon as Trump became president or he was elected, whole nother thing. He was actually calling Marco Rubio Little Marco. Little Marco. But yet, he was there supporting, he was there burning him up. When he was running, he was burning him up.
Let me tell you something. I will never quit. I will never stop until we keep a con man from taking over the party of Reagan and the conservative movement. He's a con man. He's a con man. He's a con man. I'll tell you why. Number one, look, people are angry and frustrated and scared about the future.
Okay? People are working harder than they've ever worked in their lives, and they're running in place. And he swoops in and is taking advantage of that. He's taking advantage of that. He's telling people, I'm going to fight for the little guy. I'm fighting for the working class. Here's what he doesn't tell them. He has spent a career in business, 50 years, sticking it to the little guy.
So my question is, why do you think he would even have any sympathy? So why did you join that team? Why did you join that team? And here, the people are taking him to task in a hearing. When Trump wants to cut all of the things out of the budget, he wants to cut money to senior citizens, money to veterans, money, food stamps. He wants to cut all that. Here's Marco Rubio getting drug over the coals in the Senate.
Mr. Secretary, you and I served together in Congress for 15 years. We didn't always agree, but I believe we shared some common values: a belief in defending democracy and human rights abroad, and honoring the Constitution at home. That's why I voted to confirm you. I believed you would stand up for those principles. You haven't. You've done the opposite. And you used to speak with conviction about the importance of foreign aid as a tool to advance American values and interests. Then you stood by while Elon Musk took a chainsaw to USAID and other assistance programs. That has left a staggering toll: broken trust with countries, openings for China and other adversaries, and countless preventable deaths of children and others.
And you know why? Because Marco Rubio is one of those craven human beings. One of those craven human beings that care more about money, that care more about fame, care more about what he wants than the American people. This is why this has happened. This is why people are showing contempt for Marco, because he doesn't care about any of the immigrants. He's one of those first and second generation immigrants, first and second generation American-born immigrant, who don't care about you people who are dragging yourself across the border. He don't care about y'all, whether you come from Cuba or not. He don't care about you Venezuelans, you Haitians. He don't care about none of y'all, because his parents did it the legal way. His grandfather didn't. His grandfather had to wait until 1977 and had been here a long time before he became an American citizen. But as far as he's concerned, the rest of y'all can go fly. There's no way that Marco Rubio should not have pushed back on Trump getting rid of the TPS. It had been in place for a long time for you Cubans, Haitians, Venezuelans. But I bet you he didn't push back. He didn't push back because he don't care about any immigrants. He don't care. He's here. He's made it. That's why.
Raise your hands. Come on.
Are you sure you want to vote Republican? And he's saying he's going to deport criminals.
Raise your hands. Come on.
And I vote for Mr. Trump.
Raise your hands. Come on.
He told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
Just in from the Supreme Court. This is a 7-2 ruling involving justices now allowing the Trump administration to revoke protected status for 500,000 immigrants from Cuba.
The pro-Trump Cuban rapper, yes, that's what I said, the pro-Trump Cuban rapper El Funky is now facing deportation.
50,000 Cubans from the Miami area in Florida are facing deportations.
So, Jorge, Cubans in Miami particularly, there is an outsized population there that supports the Republican Party. Why do you suppose that there is this reversal?
Many of them have been disappointed because there are more than 110,000 Cubans now who arrived in the U.S. under the humanitarian parole program authorized by the Biden administration, and that program has been canceled.
When we standing on business, I'm a big stepper, underground methods.
And now they deported me. They kicking me out. And they break.
And Marco Rubio ain't doing nothing to help y'all. Specifically you Cuban Miami Cuban, folks. He ain't doing nothing to help y'all. Y'all going back. That's 500,000 people. He don't care. He's standing by Trump. He's standing by Trump. He's a scumbag. He cares more about his political career than he does you all.
We are actively searching for other countries to take people from third countries. So we are actively, not just El Salvador, we are working with other countries to say, we want to send you some of the most despicable human beings to your countries. Will you do that as a favor to us? And the further away from America, the better, so they can't come back across the border. I'm not apologetic about it. We are doing that. The president was elected to keep America safe and to get rid of a bunch of perverts and pedophiles and child rapists out of our country. Here's something else.
This is what we got, y'all. You have him actively helping Trump deport you people. TPS people, 500,000 people. That includes, I'm assuming, around 250,000 Cubans, maybe, or Venezuelans. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the numbers, but I'm sure. But it's 500,000 of all of y'all. Okay, he's not stopping it. The point is, you cannot depend on Marco Rubio. Okay, you cannot depend on Marco Rubio because he does not care about you Cubans. He cares about his family. He cares about his family, nobody else. So the Cubans, you're going to have to get yourself out of this. And I don't know how you're going to get yourself out of this, but I'm a part of that 92% to try to help y'all get out of that. Okay? I was one of the ones that try to help you. Marco Rubio supports Trump's hard stance against Cuba. That's what it said in the earlier video, the earlier section. He was making a case for you guys not to come here because you get refugee money, you get food stamps, then you go back and visit family, thereby taking advantage of the system. That's what he's saying. As a Cuban American, he has advocated for a tough stance against Cuba from day one. He has fought against normalizing Cubans coming over here. He argued for money to give to you all. He argued from 2009. He has argued to keep you all out of the country actively, and he's a Cuban. How do you explain that? He said the United States is opening the door to justice and enabling victims of Cuban dictatorship to rightfully sue their perpetrators. But as soon as Trump got in office, he ain't trying to hear that. He ain't trying to hear none of that. He gonna send y'all back to Cuba so y'all can deal with your own government. And all because he's a craven, ambitious human being. That's the only reason. How do you betray your own people? How do you become a turncoat against your own people? And he don't care. The court upheld this TPS revocation of these 500,000 people. And you ain't heard Marco Rubio come out here and say nothing about that. Nothing. Because he don't care about y'all. He never did. He only cared about himself. He only cared about himself. And for a Republican to care about poor and the indigent and the homeless and the refugees, it's an oxymoron. He don't give a damn about nobody but himself. Y'all should know that. Now you know that y'all don't have no allies in the Trump administration, even one of y'all own.